Ford Kansas City. I didn't notice that before. I wonder if that's the dealer that No, I bought these from Ford Parts Giant. So I wonder if that dealer is, I don't know. Interesting. Arrived FedEx. And they overnighted them. Why do they overnight them? Because I didn't pay for overnight shipping. Motorcraft, obviously. February 17th, 2022. Oh, these have been sitting around a while. Today, I'm going to be replacing the rear shocks on my Flex. Now, in my 11-year ownership, this is the second time that I've done it. The first time that I did it was probably back in 2016. Yes, 2016, because I just bought new tires. I put new shocks on. I paid a tire shop to do that way back then. So I had less than 100,000 miles because I just did this video for the front suspension and I did the shocks before that video. Now, to the directions, should be very simple to do. 2 bolts for the lower portion of the shock, and then a new upper insulator nut up here. And, well, you know, that should be it. And I thought I ordered 2 stabilizer nuts. Apparently I didn't. So I'm guessing using Loctite. Let's get started. As you can see, the shock's pretty rusted. I don't see it leaking. Here, all I gotta do down here is remove this nut and this bolt, and then we go up top, up here in the inside, and remove the top insulator nut. And while I was down here looking, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pick this up on camera, but do you see way back here at the end of my finger, that bushing is cracked? Oh, fuck my life. First, let's get this stabilizer link top nut off. This is a 15. This stud is a 7. You don't have one that goes that low. This is a 17 nut back there. Let's see if the impact breaks it loose and not give me any issues. Okay. Well, that was pretty anticlimactic. The thing with this, that you're supposed to replace it, is because this red ring is a 9-line nut. And once it's been used, well, then it no longer locks on there. But since I'm in a pinch and I only ordered 1 when I thought I ordered 2, I'm going to use Loctite and lock it back on there. Oh. I'm thinking these probably need replaced. The boots aren't damaged, but they're not making noise either. Okay. So right here we are focused on this big bolt right here. The size is a 21. You know what I find interesting? Maybe it's just me. But the size of the socket is in metric, but the drive of the socket is in standard. Your 1/2 inch, your 1/4 inch, etc. It's interesting to me. Impact. Can I go turbo mode? Oh, this might have to be brought up to remove tension, so we'll have to see. Maybe I need a bigger gun. More power. Oh, you bitch. It's spinning the bolt. That was supposed to be welded to the damn control, or to the shock. Oh boy, what size is this thing? This, really? This might be a pain in the ass. Am I big enough? Nope, I need a bigger wrench. All right, so I got a 22 right here. Let's try this again, shall we? Hey, look at that. Get the right tools, the shit works. Oh, now I'm stuck. My nuts and my wrench. And I suppose if you didn't damage these upon removal, you could clean these threads off, put new Loctite on, and then reuse the bolt, saving you from buying a new one. All right, now we're up here underneath this cubby hole. I want to make a word of caution, or a big point. You are climbing up in your vehicle, accessing this with it on a jack stand and a floor jack. Please make damn sure your vehicle is stable before climbing up in here to do this. So this cubby hole's got 4 Phillips screws right here, and this pops out. Now, when I had these shocks replaced at a shop, which probably explains why there was a nut and not the nut not being welded to the shock, because I don't think they use Motorcraft parts, the shop quoted removing this entire trim panel rather than taking out this cubby hole. So we got screw 1, screw 2. Clearly I could have used a smaller screwdriver for this. But, you know, being a mechanic, we don't always use the right tools, do we? We make work with what we got. Funny thing is, I think I have a stubby screwdriver. Now, with the 4 screws removed, the directions in the shop manual say this just pops up. But if I remember the last time I did this for the shop, I broke a clip because it didn't just come like up and out. Kind of like what it's doing right now. It's fighting me. Oh, there we go. So, if I'm not mistaken, there's a clip behind this. Well, listen, you little son of a... Oh my God, how do they do this on the assembly line? Because this is going to drive me up a wall. Okay, what the fudge? How in the hell? No. Yeah, it's going to go up. Oh. There's a, if I remember correctly, there's a clip back here that gets caught underneath this plastic right here. And I think I broke my passenger side one when I did this like 8+ years ago. Or whenever I did it last, I don't remember when. But, okay. There we go. So that clip I was talking about is this right here. It gets up underneath here where my finger's at. Can make it a challenge to get out. Now, I'm not sure what the shop used. If you're moving around, it's because you're on the same platform I'm on, and mine's broke. Let's see. Did they use an 18 right here? No. What the hell did they use? A 19? 19 works. Now, this is a deep well socket as well. And as you can see, we're right here. So if you're going to use, try to use sockets, make sure you have a deep well socket and maybe an extension to get past all of this. Or you could remove this entire trim panel and do it that way. But we're going to do it this way. Or at least I'm doing it this way. Now, is my gun going to fit right here? I might need to get an extension. Am I barely going to fit on this? Well, that was easy. Yeah, they definitely use some aftermarket junk. And what the hell? I don't know what that is. Okay. And our shock should be free. Now this should come right on out. Like so. Well, it still works. Probably, what the hell do they use? The body doesn't look too bad. It's not leaking. Bump stop still looks pretty good. And I can push it in. Okay, maybe it was time to replace it because shouldn't this come right back out? Okay, now before I put the new shock in, I'm just gonna brush this out up in here. Knock anything loose, because I'm gonna spray a rust converter up in here. Just to kind of like help it maybe. That's the idea. Probably could have removed this, but shake and spray. I mean, this vehicle's already old as it is. Okay. New Motorcraft shock. Looks just like this. We're going to compress this to take this off. Well, that works. Now, the directions say, or at least the picture shows, everything right here stays on just this way. And that's it. And here's the nut that is welded to the frame of the shock. Now we're just going to put this up in the hole here. Probably need to compress this. There we go. Oh. Oh. Find the hole. Find the hole. Okay. Oh. Oh. Well, that was easy. All right. Now the bottom bolt. Here's the old new bolt, 21 millimeter. I gotta lift this shock up and realign this. Torque spec is 129 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna impact this down and then torque it with a torque wrench. Making sure I go the right way. Do I need... Now I went to 130. My torque wrench is old and it's not been calibrated since I bought it. Ooh. Okay, there we go. And the nut for the stabilizer link right here, ouch, is 41 foot-pounds. I'm gonna reuse this nut. And then I'm gonna put some Loctite on it, blue Loctite, so that it comes back off. Just a dab's all I need. So that's just gonna be a few ugga-duggas. Well, come on. There we are. Lower the power level down. Now we go up top. Okay. Oh, I'm thinking I'm breaking the rest of my platform in here. Yay! Not. We're up at the top. There's our strut stud down there. Motorcraft part. This is a size 18. And this gets torqued to 41 foot-pounds. Only I don't have a wrench in my socket. My torque wrench doesn't go down to 41, it only goes down to 50. Apparently, you really got to push on this and push down. There we go. So this goes to 50. Use an impact real quick to zap it down. Torque wrench. Mine's set to 50. Clearly I didn't get to 50 because I can still rotate it with this thing. I think we're at 50. I don't think it's going to go any more than that. That bushing's pretty much flat anyway. Put everything back over. And we button it back up. So, we're going to put this corner right here in first. See how this is right here and getting caught in this plastic. Just going to kind of snap it in there. And then it should. Oh, Lord. Well, this might be the most tedious part of this entire job, because this doesn't want to get back in there the way that it should be going back in there. Okay, now part of me wants to cut off that damn tab, I'm telling you. Well, God. Okay. It's getting hot. I'm tired of fighting plastic. Let's try this again. Finally, I was reading over the directions, and the directions had mentioned to use the hex holding feature to torque down the upper insulating nut. Now, we're days later here and I'm editing this video and I didn't realize that the shocks had an hex holding feature. So I came out here to the passenger side to take it off because I mentioned earlier that the passenger side, I broke the clip. Makes removing this much easier. And sure enough, removing the insulation, there is a hex holding feature. Now, the bitch part of this is going to be, if you're using 2 wrenches down inside this cubby hole, you're in for a very painstaking experience. On the bottom is an 18mm wrench, and on the top, the hex feature is an 8mm wrench. I would recommend having ratcheting wrenches to do this because this area is very confined. Just a word of caution. And that is all there is to it of changing the rear shocks on a Ford Flex. Pretty straightforward process. Lower bolt, upper bushing, and well, you're done. I mentioned earlier, if you wanted to, you didn't damage the hardware upon removal, you could reuse the lower bolt, clean the threads, put some new thread locker on there, and you're good to go. This process for the Flex should be similar to the Flex's siblings, the Taurus, the Explorer, and the Lincoln MKT. Part numbers and the torque specs for the Flex will be down in the description. Oh, I'm getting old. Let's see if I can still do this from standing up Indian style. Oh, that project was exhausting. For more great Flex content, click here. For more great content posted this year, click here. To subscribe, click here. And thank you. Thank you to everyone for watching, commenting, subscribing, for sharing. Thank you all for everything. I really do appreciate it.